Okay, let's do a little warm up and some hip work today. So coming into our mountain pose, reach your crown toward the ceiling, shoulders back and down, spread your toes out, activate your core, get those hips starting to open up, get the sitting bones going down, and breathe. Take a moment focusing inward. And then inhale, arms to shoulder level, keep the shoulders down. Exhale, hands to your heart, stretch to the front, and clasp your hands behind you. Press them to the floor, lift your heart, and stretch your spine. Pivot over as you exhale. Keep the weight on both feet, spreading your toes, lifting your sitting bones, and bring your hands toward your head. Move your chin around, relax your neck. And then bend your knees and come on all the way back up. Lift your heart, stretch your head back, and get that upper body back bend going. Inhale upright, release your arms, and just take a moment feeling your spine. And again, inhale, reach out, hands to your heart, stretch to the front, and clasp your hands the opposite way behind you. Lift into the back bend, spreading your toes, and pivot again at the hips. Deepen as far as you'd like, and lift your sitting bones, get the legs stretching a little bit. And then bend your knees and work your way back up. Lift your heart, drop your shoulders, and again, stretch into the back bend. Take a few breaths, spreading your toes, lengthening your spine, and inhale upright, release into mountain pose. Bring your arms to shoulder level, palms up, hands over your shoulders, and then clasp them for our side stretch. So stay straight, no twisting. Lean over to the side and push the foot you're leaning away from there. Those ribs stretching apart. Hips opening a little bit. And then inhale back upright and switch your hands. Again, lengthen up, everything even, arms by your ears as you lean to the side, no twist. Making sure you're just going straight to the side. Foot down, hands away. Feel those ribs stretch apart. And then come on back up and release. Just take a moment feeling your body and get your spine ready to twist. So arms at shoulder level, palms up, hands over your shoulders, clasp your elbows, spread your toes, stretch the spine apart, and turn to one side. Take a breath and pivot over in the twist, keeping the weight on both feet as evenly as you can. Take a breath there, just let that twist happen. And then inhale in the twist, coming back up, keeping the weight on both feet. And again, lift your heart, coming into that upper body back bend, being gentle with the low back when you're twisting. Shoulders down, elbows back. Inhale upright, exhale around to the center and switch your arms around, balance things out. Stretch it apart and twist to the other side. Take another breath and pivot on over. As you get all the way down, just lift your sitting bones, relax your shoulders, keep the weight on both feet, and head. And again, when you're ready to come up, stay in the twist into that upper body only back bend. Chest high, shoulders down. Take a moment to breathe. Inhale upright, exhale around into mountain pose, and extend your arms up. Shoulders down, fingertips reaching, crown high. That's swan dive, pivot forward at your hips, arms out at shoulder level. And then just drop into ragdoll. Lift the sitting bones, pull in a little deeper if you'd like with your hands behind your legs. Get a good stretch on your back. And arms to the front as you come back, winding into your mountain pose. As you get all the way back up, just take a moment feeling your spine more activated. And then step a little wide, feet toward the corners of your mat. So the whole leg turns, remember, knees going the direction of your toes. And then keeping your back flat and straight, just sink down. So the knees are going toward, not beyond your toes. Your crown is straight up, your sitting bones straight down, and you're just feeling a little bit of a stretch through the legs and a little opening through those hips. Inhale and straighten. Exhale and sink down. So this one's horse. So like you're galloping, or what is it, cantering, slowly going down and up with the horse. And then we're going to add a little upper body to it. So as you go down, bring your arms out and around and up and cross them at the top. And then go all the way back down, arms crossing the opposite way. And inhale, coming up, and exhale, coming down. And again, inhale up, keep that spine straight. Don't lean forward or bend through the spine. And down. Once again, up. And again, down. And then again into mountain pose. Just feel those hips a little bit more activated. And we'll turn the toes out. Keep the feet about a little wider than hip width apart. And we'll do another squat. So coming down, come to your knees, and then back up, hands to your hips. And then up, down, and up. And if that's feeling easy, you can go all the way to the floor as you come down, and then back up. So remember, breathe with it, exhaling down, inhaling up, getting those knees going toward but not beyond your toes, so those sitting bones are pushing back. Exhaling down, inhaling up. This one's Kundalini, so if you want to, you can go really, really fast because that's what they do. And they do this 106 times because for some reason 106 is their number. But we aren't going to do that. We're just going to do it a few times just to get those hips and legs warmed up a little bit more. Breathing with it, working with it, going maybe a little faster if you like it, warming up a little bit more. Breathing and stretching and feeling things moving, and then come back into standing position, mountain pose. Feel your body a little bit more energized as well as activated through those hips. Spread your toes and don't forget to breathe. Hands to your heart. Look at your fingers, inhaling them up. Keep looking at your thumbs, bringing them back, a little bit of an upper body back in, and then swan dive, arms out to the side as you come forward, pivoting at your hips, reaching out, drop into ragdoll, come into your halfway up stretch. So hands right below your knees on your shins, elbows, knees, and spine straight, looking at the floor. And then exhale, arms back down. And again, hands together, coming up to your heart, all the way toward the ceiling. Another little back bend. And exhale, back, pivoting forward, arms out, and into ragdoll. Stretch your spine long and bring your hands up on your shins into your halfway up stretch. Exhale. Turn slightly to one side, a little twist in your halfway up position. Back to the center and turning over toward the opposite side. And back to the center. Tuck in your chin, bend your knees, roll up one more time. And again into mountain pose. Take a moment, breathing. Exhale, tension. And bring your hands again to your heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, pivot forward, hands down, into ragdoll. Another halfway of stretch. And this time we're coming to the floor. So bend your knees and come all the way down into child pose, transitioning down. So hands by your feet, kneeling forward, forehead toward the floor, shoulders just relaxing. And breathe. Feel your spine nice and stretched, and then inhale, sitting up, slide off, and into our staff position, legs out to the front. So sitting bones behind you, core active, supporting your spine, shoulders right above your hips, crown to the ceiling, heels pressing out, toes up, knees toward the ceiling. We'll work those hips a little bit to warm them up. So foot to your opposite thigh, letting the knee come down toward the floor. If that's feeling tight today, bring this leg over to the side. Let those hips get a little bit more open through the pelvis. Or remember, you can also pad behind you with a cushion or blanket. Hands can be on your knees, but don't push. Never resist. Just let it relax and happen. Letting that knee come down as far as it wants to. Just releasing any inner thigh tightness, anything that's feeling any tightness anywhere in your legs, knees, hips, lower body. Take a moment and breathe. Feel that core still supporting your midsection and spine. And then bring your knee and foot into your hands or wrap your arms around to pull the leg in and rotate side to side, getting that outside of your hip more activated. And we'll be using that a little bit today. Bring it higher or closer if you love it, or don't if that's feeling like that's already enough. Shoulders still above your hips, spine still nice and straight. And exhale, release that leg and feel the difference on the two sides. That's the yoga of it, noticing what your body is doing. Let's do the other side and balance it out. So bring the other foot up, again, knee coming down. Leg to the front or over to the side, but keep the knee and toes up, whichever way you're doing it. Take a moment and breathe. Again, you can add a little weight with your hands, but don't press. And don't forget to breathe. The more you exhale and relax, the more things come down. And the more that hip area opens and stretches, getting ready to do a little bit more work in a few moments. Take a breath, just let it relax. And of course, sitting on the floor, multitasking, watching TV, you can do this a lot longer. But for now, just bring that foot and knee into your hands or pull the leg in, straighten your spine, keep the core active, and move that hip, rotating the leg back and forth. And again, just warm it up as much as it needs to, pulling it in or higher or closer if that's working for you today. And again, release that leg back into staff position. Take a moment feeling how those hips are working. A little butterfly, knees out to the side, feet together, pulling those heels in close. You can clasp under your toes and pull in with the feet. And let the knees come down toward the floor as far as they want. Inner thighs stretching. Crown to the ceiling. Just relax, breathing, letting those hips release a little bit more, and the thighs. And then bring your hands right behind you under your shoulders, either fingertips or palms down, whatever works for you. Lift your heart a little bit. And as you do, lengthen through the core, up through the spine, and lift your heart maybe a little higher, letting those knees maybe drop a little further, rotating the bottoms of your feet slightly toward the ceiling as that works for you. Take a moment, just breathe. Exhale any tightness. Let it happen, remember, don't force it. And then releasing your hands, slide your feet out slightly, bring the hands under, and put the hands on top of your feet. Pull the chest toward your feet and the knees toward the floor as you're doing that. And again, straighten your spine as much as you can. Bring the chest down toward your feet and relax. And then if you feel like it, exhale, chin toward your chest or head toward your feet. Feel the back of your body get a little more stretch and just let those hips relax. Knees even, maybe further down. Release your hands, sitting back up. Lift your knees and bring the legs back into staff position. Take a moment there, feel your body, just relax, breathe, and come up onto your hands and knees. So just briefly, knees right under your hips, wrists, elbows, and shoulders aligned. Spread your fingers, get a good connection into your palms, and of course, lift those ribs supporting your low back. Lengthen through the spine, sitting bones and crown away from each other. And then we're bringing the knees to the side of the mat, feet slightly toward each other. And we're going to sink back, hips toward your heels, bringing your elbows down toward the floor and hands, palms down on the mat. So we're sliding forward in our frog swim, just keeping those hips low toward the floor as you do that as much as you can. Knees as far out toward the sides as they feel good. Just sliding forward, letting those hips get a little bit more motion as you go forward toward your hands and back toward your heels. So just chest forward, sliding, and hips going back toward your heels. Exhale any tension. Put pads wherever you need to if your knees need it. And of course, just let those hips relax, keeping as low toward the floor as they want to be. And again, as you breathe, exhale back, hips toward your heels. Bring your elbows back in and your knees in. And again, pivot up into your table position. Take a moment there, just breathe. Exhale, turn to one side, looking back toward your foot. Feel the sides stretch, keep that spine straight, keep those ribs up, supporting your low back. Exhale back to the center and over toward the opposite side. Again, just activate as much as you want, letting that hip get a little stretch. And then back to the center, sink back on your heels, again slide off and come back into staff position. Come to the center of your mat and bring your legs wide. Heels pressing out, toes up, sitting bones behind you. Again, you can pat if that's helpful for that hip opening. Take a moment there, feel those inner thighs getting a little bit of a stretch up through the crown. Keep that core active and shoulders right above your hips. We're going to bring the hands to your sides and then arms out, palms toward the ceiling, hands over your shoulders. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale and stretch up. This time as you exhale, turn to one foot, coming down, and inhale, stretching up. And let's do that one more time. Exhale down, inhale, stretching up. Arms by your ears, back straight, and pivot forward, chin toward your chest, or chin toward your knee, and chest toward your leg. Reach for your toes or your leg or the floor as far as it wants to go. Kind of pull your kneecaps toward your thighs, tightening the front of your thighs so the backs of your legs can stretch out along the floor. And don't forget to breathe. Exhale, maybe come a little deeper, reach maybe a little further. Shoulder blades back toward your waist as much as you can so you're not hunching up toward your ears. And then inhale, bring your head up, but your chest stays down. And then exhale, maybe deepen a little bit further down. Feel that stretch. And then we're going into a twist. So bring your arm in front of your knee and bring the other arm out to the side. Look to the front, bring your arm up and over next to your ear, and reach that top hand toward your toes as you come into that side stretch twist. So your whole body is facing the front. You can leverage with this arm on the front of the knee a little bit if you like the twist, and bring your hip, rib, and shoulder slightly up toward the ceiling facing the front. Take a breath. Exhale, stretch your head toward your toes and your hand toward your toes. And then bring the hand in the air up, pull your body up, reach out to the sides, coming back to the center, and release your arms. So take a moment, feeling that side a little more stretched, that hip a little bit more activated, and we'll balance the body and go the opposite way. So again, hands at your sides, shoulders down, sitting bones toward the back, and crown toward the ceiling. Bring your arms out, palms toward the ceiling, hands over your shoulders. Exhale and release, hands down to your shoulders, sink into your sitting bones, and then inhale and reach up. Push out through your heels, up with those knees and toes as you exhale down and stretch up again. And once more, exhale and give yourself a good stretch. And then as you exhale, bringing the hands down, turn toward that opposite leg. And again, inhale and stretch up. Exhale down. Give yourself a really good stretch up this time as you're in that twist position toward the other foot, arms by your ears. And again, chest coming down toward your leg, chin toward your knee, hands toward your foot or leg or floor. And again, reach as far as it wants to go, just relaxing. Adjust anything you need to. Keep those toes up, knees up, kneecap toward your thighs, let the back of your legs stretch along the floor as much as it wants. Exhale and reach for your foot as much as you can. And then again, inhale the head up, but not the chest. Stretch your spine long, pivoting at that hip. Exhale and deepen. And again, bring your body as close toward that knee as it wants to go. And don't forget to breathe. And then bringing your arm inside the knee, bring your other arm out to the side, turning to the front for our twist and lengthening. So bring your arm up over by your ear, reaching for your toes as it leans to the side, and turn your hips, ribs, and shoulder slightly higher toward the ceiling. If you're really flexible, of course, you can go deeply into a twist in this position, but you never have to do that. Leverage with your arm in your knee if you love the twist, just gently, not too much. Head toward your toes and reach out through your fingertips toward your toes as well. Take a breath, just relax into it as much as you'd like. And then lead with the hand in the air, pulling yourself back up, reaching out, and release, hands to the floor. Bend your knees, bring the feet together, and again, into butterfly, pulling those knees toward the sides, letting them drop as those heels come in toward your hips. Crown high, core active, straighten and stretch your spine with those shoulders above your hips. Exhale, let those knees maybe come a little further down. And then bring the hands back under your shoulders once more. Chest high, and don't forget to breathe. Lift up through the heart, up through the crown, down with the shoulders, down with the knees, and just feel that stretch through the thighs and hips. Release your hands. Lift your knees, and bring your legs out to the front and over to the end of your mat. Press out through your heels, activate your core, stretch up through the spine, and slowly lower all the way onto the mat. Take a moment there, just relaxing into that reclined integration. Turn your hands, palms down next to your hips. Sitting bones toward your heels, press your back down, bend your knees, heels right next to your sitting bones, knees straight up, feet on the floor. So remember, you want to make sure those knees go straight up, so you may need to roll the top of the thigh in to make sure you're not spreading apart in the knees. We're going to do a little bridge. So go ahead and press your back down, get the whole spine connected, sitting bones slightly toward your heels. And then Lift your hip bones straight up. Press into your arms and hands, into your feet evenly. And now work up onto the tops of your shoulders, not your neck. And make sure the back of your head stays on the floor. So spread your toes, get both feet supporting you evenly. Press into your arms and hands, lift those hip bones straight up, and get as open through the hip area as feels right for you. Take a moment to breathe, and then exhale and bring the spine back down. Shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Take a moment there, just breathe and relax. Exhale any tension. Now we're going to do that one more time. Hands, palms down, shoulders down. Exhale that belly to the floor, and then lift the hip bones straight up. Take a moment there, press into your hands and feet, and come up onto your shoulders, not your neck. And again, lift those hip bones evenly. Going to bring one leg up and put the ankle above the opposite knee, and let that knee come down toward the floor. So the knee that's bent, well, they're both bent, aren't they? The knee that's up in the air presses down as you lift your hips, both evenly toward the ceiling. Press into your arms, hands, and foot, and make sure the shoulders are supporting you, not your neck. And then lift that foot, straighten it out, and bring it back down to the floor. Take a moment, releasing shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Take a moment, and of course, we're going to balance the body doing that once more on that opposite side. So again, hands, palms down, sitting bones toward your heels, back pressing down, and lift your hip bones straight up, pressing into your feet, and hands coming up onto your shoulders, lifting the hip bones as high as you'd like. Press into your feet, lift that opposite leg, and again, crossing it over at the knee. Let the knee come in the air, come down toward the floor. Lift your hip bones both up. Press into your hands and arms and shoulders, not your neck, and your foot. Take a breath, pressing down, lifting up through the hips, keeping everything as even as you can, knee coming toward the floor as well. And then releasing, foot straight back up, and bring it to the floor. Press into both feet evenly, releasing the shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Bring your knees up, just a little brief stretch on that back, and bring your hands to T position for our twist. So we'll just do a gentle twist, or you can cross your leg over and twist a little more deeply in that low back hip area if you'd like. Exhale, knees over to the side, turning your head toward that opposite arm behind you. Just breathe and relax, letting those knees come as far toward the floor as they want. Remember, pad if you need to for your low back. Turn your head, again, going only gently if your neck is an issue. And make sure you keep your shoulders down for that middle back twist as you're in your position. Take a breath, exhale. Relax as much as you can. And then heels toward your hips, roll onto your back. Keep the legs next to each other or cross the opposite way if you've got them crossed. And again, bringing the knees over right at hip level, turning your head the opposite direction or a twist to the opposite side. Exhale, relaxing. If the knees are crossed, you've got more low back work going on. Don't go too far, pad if you need to. And turn your head only as much as your neck needs. Shoulders down, let that whole spine get a good twist throughout your body. Take a breath, just exhale and relax. And then again, heels toward your hips, rolling onto your back. Uncross your legs if they were crossed, bringing your feet to the floor and slide out into corpse position for our final relaxation. Toes toward each other, shoulders down, palms up, and relax. Belly soft, let those hips release, Any tightness there, just move them around a little bit. Relax your shoulders down, hands palms up. Move your head side to side, let the neck release as well. Take a breath and just let your body grow heavy and sink into that surface beneath you, supported by the earth. As your body relaxes, just let it go without awareness. And as you let the thoughts of your body release from your attention, know that other thoughts will come to you. Let them go as well. Let your mind drift, paying no attention to the content of your thoughts. It's the job of your mind to keep producing thoughts. It's your choice whether you pay attention. So let the thoughts drift in and out as easily as your breath without awareness. And allow your focus to release your body and your mind, focusing only inward on that peace within. Fill yourself with peace in your body, in your mind, and just take a few moments being peace. And if you have time to keep relaxing today, just take all the time. I think it's time to get ready for the rest of your day. Just begin drawing energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the room, to your body. And begin moving your body gently, however feels good for you today. Moving gently side to side, breathing, stretching more completely as you breathe more deeply. And whenever you're ready for your final yoga hug of appreciation, sitting bones toward your heels, bringing your heels up toward your hips and your knees up toward your heart. Wrap your arms around, give yourself that appreciative yoga hug. Let your body know you appreciate its yoga work today and the work your body does for you every day. Give yourself a little circle around those hips and legs and lower body. And bring your head and feet to the floor, roll over to the side, and sit back up, getting ready for the rest of your day today. Thanks for joining me.